Good evening. Hello to wherever you are in the world. Welcome to today's live craft and chat where we craft and chat live. That's my new bit now. I'm keeping it. So I hope you don't hate it because I love it and I kind of smirk every time I say it because I think it's fun. Let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me. You guys know the drill. I'm just checking the comments. You guys were going hardcore before the live stream today. There is so much to catch up on. Um, but I was like running around like a crazy person today because I realized that my iPad was flat and that meant no pattern for today's chart. So I'm like trying to find the fastest charger in the house and getting it all getting it all charged enough so that the slower charger that's in here will keep it going for the live stream. And then I'm like, oh, but I want coffee and I want tea. And then I made a coffee and the coffee machine ran out of water. So I only got half a cup. So I had to drink that and then make another one. So I might be a little bit like from coffee and from running around. So, sorry, not really. Canadians are having a heat wave, apparently, according to the chat. Uh, I don't think so. Deb's going to be lurking. Hey, Deb, thank you for lurking. I appreciate you letting me know that you're there. Kelly says, I like how you say it too every time. It makes me smile. Oh, awesome. That's good. And Leanne, thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that because we can test and test and test and test, and then something can still crash and burn. I attended a webinar this week of someone who I highly, highly, highly respect, not just for their skills and their kindness, but also their tech knowledge, and their microphone was playing havoc on them, and it can happen to anybody. So I always check. It's always good to check because the day you don't check is the day that something happens. Like was it last week's live or the week before on the other channel? And someone's gone, I think there's something hinky with your microphone. And I checked it. And yeah, even though I had tested it and checked it, it had changed to like an inbuilt microphone. And you guys know how I feel about inbuilt microphones. It's very Tom Gleason of you. Oh, it is. Oh my gosh. It is. It's a hard. What is his show? Hard something. But yes. Oh my gosh. Now that you've said it, I can't unsee that. Yep, absolutely. That's all right. Thanks, Tom Gleason. I'm legit stealing that. I'm not going to stop doing it. Lisby, welcome to the chat. Are you like me and like total FOMOing out on the Gimpy Spinners and Weavers camp this year? And I'm just like, yeah, I would really have liked to have gone to that, but I just couldn't. We had Fiberific retreat a couple of weeks ago. I had a retreat a month before that. There's just, there's got to be a line. The other thing I'm FOMOing about, for those of you that are YouTube people, is Vid Summit is happening right now. It started yesterday, and my socials are making me sad. They're not making me sad. I'm pretty excited for everybody else, but I'm just sad that I'm not there. Like, aside from the whole, it would have cost me like thousands of dollars to go. I still don't have my passport. I'm still waiting. And the news said the other day, oh yeah, those people waiting for their passports, you know how we said it could be 4 months? Well, it could be longer. And I'm just like, really? That's funny. So it could be much. Hard quiz. Oh, thank you. Yes, hard quiz. That show is, I don't get to watch it very, very often, but that would be the kind of game show that I would love to run, where you just take the mickey out of the contestants. Like, really? This is your special thing that you have knowledge about? Okay. Technology is wonderful when it works. Doesn't always work how we want it to. Okay. Let me have a squizzy squiz. Leanne's jumping in. Sally Mod has been a member for 12 months, and I can't bring it on screen because it's a members chat. Sally, thank you for being an awesome moderator and a member for 12 months, according to this. Is it 12 months? Does it feel like 12 months? Let me look at this. I don't know. If I cut and paste it, it normally gives me extra information. Because if you're 12 months, then the others should be 12 months, right? Maybe it's just doing the 6 to 12 month thing. I hate this because I was so excited, and then it's like, maybe not. Let me just look at something, create a banner. Let's type it in and see what happens. 6 months. Okay. No, no, it's a member for 6 months, but the 6 to 12 months gets the same badge. Okay. That's so dumb. I have to actually paste it somewhere else to get all the information. Isn't that stupid? Thanks, YouTube, for making me look like a donkey. All right. I mean, I don't really need YouTube's help, do I? Okay, let's pop that one down. Good morning, Artsog. Good morning. Massive good morning to all the channel members. And for those of you that scored your bonus month memberships from Claire last week, like I was so blown away. Just a reminder, member 1.5 here. Yeah, Leanne can't quite get over the fact that Claire beat her for number 1 spot. I think it was like minutes between them. Yeah, sorry. Vampire is lurking, nomming hash browns before picking up the craft work. Nice job. Yeah, nice job. There you go. Freaky Geek, that does work. Thank you. Appreciate you trying that out. Knitspin Creation says, woohoo, free membership. Thanks, Claire. I mean, do you like how I gave you the excited voice then? Yeah, too much coffee. Speaking of coffee, I'll have some more. After all the effort I went to get a cup, I'm not going to let it go cold. Okay. um, that was so bizarre, Artsog. Artsog is a very lucky boy because he scored one of the membership gifts last week that Claire gave here on our channel. And then yesterday I gave some memberships over on Claire's channel and Artsog got one of those. So he's like membering all over the place. I'm never going to say that again. But anyway, yeah. Okay. Jackie Doyle is in the house. Jackie, it's been so long since I've seen your face. And your legit real face. I missed you at retreat so much. But it's good to see you in the chat. It's so good. Okay. So I've got my queen is here. And what are you guys working on? I know not everyone will be working on something. I know some of you are sneaking at work, or you're doing, like Sally won't be working on anything because she likes to concentrate on what she's doing. Gabby Rodriguez, welcome to the chat. It's good to see you in here as well. Jackie remembered. Go, Jackie. And that's actually an excellent point because I did forget to put it on all the socials because I was fighting with the coffee machine. I was like all dressed and ready, like 30 minutes beforehand. And I'm like, la, 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 floating around the house. Yeah, I'll get my cup of water early and I'll do this, blah, 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 all these things. And yeah, whoops. Jen, you'd think that, wouldn't you? You would think that. Got to be at the end of that queen soon. I'm in the 4th last color. So I'm getting there. What's happening, Jen, is the only craft time I've been getting is during these live streams. So 3 rows a week is not going to cut it. Like my goal is like, no, I'll get some more done. I'll get some more done. I'll do it. And then I'm doing other stuff. I'm, like making emails and other things. But yeah, I'll get there. It's going to get finished. I'm finishing this blanket. I am determined. Sally's working on waking up and modding, of course. Gamer Widows is trying very hard to ignore the police helicopter hovering. Well, then you shouldn't have stolen the things. Honestly, if you don't want police helicopters hovering, no, I know. Francis is working on another woven panel to add to a jacket design. Nice. Artsog is plugging away at the last bunch of squares for a baby blanket. Whew. Yeah. I keep getting to 11:30 and then remembering being a bit busy at work. Yeah, and it's awkward because it is the middle of your workday, and I legit understand, and I'm always grateful, especially. I'm always grateful for everybody who joins the lives, but I'm especially grateful for those that are sneaky watching while they're at work. So, yeah. Let me just have a look here. Oh, so for the southern states, when does your daylight saving kick in? Because we need to talk about that because the time will change for some of you. Will become an hour earlier. Because I was thinking about doing it earlier here, but I can't really. Um, like, I mean, maybe I could. You know what? We could trial it. So those of you on daylight savings, put yes in the chat. So if you're in Australia and you're going on to daylight savings and it's going to be changing, or even if you're in another country and your hours are going to be changing, our state here doesn't change. We don't go on to daylight savings. So it messes us up because New Zealand's already gone on to daylight savings last weekend. And so like, oh yeah, it's this weekend. So it'll be for the next chat. So I was like, oh, I can't do it because I've got school runs, but Abby takes the car on Thursdays now. So I could start early. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's yeah. Freaky, I think it depends on where you are. Like in Australia, every state and territory gets to choose what it wants to do itself. And other countries do whatever they want as well. I don't get to be the boss of them just because of my live streams. Oh, I wish. Like, dude, stop with the daylight savings. But there's people who legit like daylight savings. I'm like, really? Okay. And I think the reason I'm like, what's your problem? Why can't you just have a normal day? Is because I've only ever had it like when I lived in Sydney for a couple of years and also when I was a child and they trialed it here in Queensland and the farmers went, oh no, the cows can't wake up that early. Yeah. Whatever the excuses were. I can't remember, the excuses were lame. They were lame, like, "Oh, my curtains are gonna fade more for the extra hour of sunlight." You're not getting an extra hour of sunlight. Oh gosh, yeah, see, I'm the same. I don't tend to, notice it so much, but because I do a lot of things on different time zones, I have to really try and keep on top of it, which is orcs, let me tell you. Um, uh, yeah, I mean, Francis, that's technically true because the states are all independent in Australia. That's how our federation works. Uh, yeah, yeah, we don't get faded curtains up here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's exactly right. That is 100% right. It's the farmers who can't adjust. Um, yeah, yeah, it's bizarre. It is so bizarre. Anyway, yeah, what do you guys think if we start an hour earlier next week and test it out? So I'll put out some stuff on the community tab. I'll remind everybody. Let me just check my calendar to make sure I don't have anything all booked in like for before. Just let me just double check because that would kind of be like, oh, oops, you know how we were going to do that thing. Calendar. Let me look for next week. I can legit do that. All right, next week we're going to hang on. Next week I'll be starting at 9 a.m. Brisbane time. Okay. So if you've got daylight savings, it will be the same time for you. It'll just be different for me. So I'll make sure I schedule it like a day or two earlier than I usually would so that you guys can see when it's going to start. Because YouTube will do all the heavy lifting for you. But in Brisbane, it's AEST, so Australian Eastern Standard Time. So it should be the same time for all the southern states of Australia. I think for Sally, are you going in and out? Yeah, everyone's going an hour. Okay. All right. So yes, Deb's like, Deb, I might need a wake up call. Me too, Deb. Me too. Those of us here in Queensland, it's going to start at 9. Okay. This is big. I just like, let's just do things on the fly. Yeah. So next week we will start the live stream an hour early, and we'll gauge it from that. We'll decide if we'll run it as a test for a couple of weeks and see what we think. But yeah, so today's going to be a massive day for me. On Tuesday, I dropped Abby down to my mum, so it's technically New South Wales. So I definitely want her back before daylight savings kicks in. Um, Yeah, so technically she's in New South Wales, but it's only like, an hour and 45, 2 hours away. It's not like a day's drive or anything. So after I finish this live stream, I've got to go back and pick her up because she's got work tomorrow, so she has to be back in time. But she keeps messaging me like, "Mom, send me a photo of my tomatoes. Mom, do this." I'm just like, "Dude, it's live stream day. Back off." Okay, let's have a look here. Oh, here we go. Game. That was a conversation. Dolores is going to be mostly lurking today. Hey, Dolores, how are you going? It's good to see you, and thank you for making the effort to be a lurker. I appreciate that. So Leanne's craft room is awesome at reminding people. She is excellent at reminding people. So now we just have to remind Leanne, and then Leanne can remind everybody else. How does that sound? Leanne, no pressure. No pressure, Leanne. Oh yeah, I'll give Deb a reminder. Excellent. Speaking of poke, I didn't plan this. Hang on, I'm going to see if I can. So you remember last week when we were talking about poke the bear? Hang on, I'm just Fiberific. I'm trying to open up a window. IFIC dot Redbubble. Now I also have. Hang on, you guys probably can't hear me properly. Just let me just do. I'll just do this. Okay. Alrighty. Got to make the screen big. The screen is big. Let's go to screen share. Screen share. Share the screen. Yes, it is easier with two monitors. That is why I am doing it. Screen share. And I want to share that one. Share. Okay. Bring that on screen. Oh, I removed it. Add it to the stream. There we go. Okay. So we talked about the poke the bear last week. I'm just seeing if it's bigger on the t-shirt. There we go. And so I made a Poke the Bear merch. So it's a box full of bears with poke written on their chest in a soap box. So that's all up on Redbubble and also on the Fiberific store for Spreadshop, which I probably should have a link ready for, but I don't. Now, I have issues with Spreadshop. Like, I love Spreadshop shirts. I think Spreadshop shirts are better than Redbubble shirts. But the cups from Redbubble are way better because you can do the all over, the all over print. You can't do the cups like that on Spreadshop. So I can only put my cups with just a few words on them. And also they don't do like their totes aren't good. Like we know how good the Redbubble totes are. So the totes, well, they're not good. You can't get an all over print again. So we have got our own Poke the Bear merch happening over on Redbubble now. Kelly Pole says my Poke the Bear bag is on its way. That is awesome. I got a notification that it had been manufactured. So yeah, it's a bit of fun. And look, we can have it in white. You can have it in blue. You can have it in pink. You can have it in yellow or purple. But yeah, so there's that. And also, where's I don't know if you guys realize, but I do have Maker Creator Procrastinator stuff as well. So if you want that on a if you want that on a shirt, Maker Creator Procrastinator, and it's got like little cute things around. Oh, I don't like it in the red. Let's yucky in the red. So yeah, so you've got lots of choices. So but yeah, so there's some options there on the Redbubble site. So that's fiberific.com. Fiberific.redbubble. Hang on, I happen to have a ticker. It's an old ticker, but I think it's right. There you go, fiberific.redbubble.com. So there you go. So that's all available from there. But I just really wanted to show you guys the Poke the Bear because it's new and it's exciting and it was fun. So yeah, so we've got lots of Poke the Bear stuff. Was it going to bring it back? Yeah, there we go. The Poke the Bear things. So yeah. Alrighty, I'm going to go back to the comments and I'm going to stop the screen share and go back to me. Hello. So I had a bit of fun making those. It is very, very thrilling. I'm very excited. Um, if you want a poke yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with them. And look, I'm being fussy, right? Like the Redbubble shirts are fine. There is no problems with the shirts. Otherwise, I wouldn't let the designs be on the shirts. But I prefer the softness of the Spreadshop shirts. It's just because I'm a sookie baby who likes soft t-shirts. So yeah. Russell, are you safe? Russell lives in Florida, which is currently being hammered by Hurricane Ian. So I need to know if you're a bit safe there. Yeah, it's turning into a billabong. Yeah, so it's going to be Lake Florida. But yeah, I hope you are all good and safe. I mean, you're on the internet, so that says one thing, that you have priorities. The internet still works, everybody. Oh dear. I'm just gonna switch off this. I might just leave it there for a bit longer. I was gonna switch off the ticker, but I'm gonna leave it there. Um, yeah. Oh, Leanne, you always put out the good messages. Please, if you have not, give the chat a thumbs up. It helps spread the word that we are liking this chat today. Unlike last week's chat. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, it really does. It makes a difference. Like, so chatting in the chat, hitting the thumbs up, sharing it out to your friends. Sally, by any chance, have you popped it into the Facebook group? Because I didn't. I feel like an idiot because I forgot. But if you could pop it into our Facebook group, that would be amazing. I forgot to put it anywhere. So Russell, thank you for jumping in, even though I didn't put the reminder into that other group that we're both a member of. We're actually both a member of a group called Primal Video Accelerator, for those of you that know, and they're having a big intake this week. So all new members are joining in. So that's exciting and fun too. Gabby is in Florida as well. I didn't know that, Gabby. Happy the worst is gone for us. Safe praying for everyone in the path. Yes. Gabby, I didn't realize that you were in Florida as well. So, I'm glad to hear you're safe too. Yes. Oh, yes, Sally, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Francis says, we don't need reminders. We might need reminders next week. I'll need a reminder next week. Can someone remind me that I promised I was streaming an hour early my time next week? That would be great. I should actually change it in my calendar. All right. I'm going to go into our hands down shot here. I've got to find a hook. I've got to, I'm not ready. It's here. But it's under the blanket somewhere. I'm like, I've got a pen and I've got scissors and I've got a hook. I've got all the things, but there's just other things in the way of the things. Still working through the yarn bath here. So that's exciting as well. That camera's a bit blown out. Oh, I think it was just the light. That's better with it further away. Okay, let's join on. I'm just checking the distance between the hook and the back of the microphone. Let me look. Yeah, if you're in a group of crafters and they allow you to share fun things. Now, I don't want you to spam into groups at all for a start, but if you've got a group that you think would appreciate this sort of chat, you're more than welcome to share it. As long as the group allows it. I would hate to find out that, group rules were being ignored, because I'm a moderator in a few places and I'm like, delete. I'd delete it. I'd be like, yep, group rule says no, none of that. So bye-bye. Okay. Freaky says, I need a reminder to behave. Hey, Freaky, don't. Oh, Sally actually was having a dream that I woke up really late at 11:30 and was running late for live stream and then actually woke up in a panic. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Well, Sally, obviously, if your body needs you to sleep, you need to sleep. And and while I would be worried, like wondering what happened, sometimes you just need to sleep. Now, on the other hand, if I sleep in, everyone's allowed to panic. Hang on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm actually up a road further than I thought I was. I was just like, hold the phone. This isn't going to work. Alrighty. Lucky I checked. Lucky. Um, watched her chop heads the other day in a webinar. Don't cross her. I mean, I wasn't chopping heads. I just was reminding people to not be butt faces, really. Like, we're not here to check out your channel. We're here to see what the webinar is about. Right? Yeah. Um, is it just me or is your face cam a little out of focus? I mean, it could be. I can't tell. Um, it, is the whole thing out of focus or just the webcam? Like, are my hands in focus or um because the screen's quite little, like the screen that I look at for this does seem to be a little blurry. Oh, let me just see if I can get it to focus and then sharpen again. I don't know. Let's see if that does work. I'm just going to jump over to the main screen for a second and just see. Is that sharp? Because see, for me, it's all sharp. It's just the face cam that's out. I'm confused now. Looks good for Francis. Just double check your signal strength. I'm just double checking my signal strength because that could be, oh, it should be good. It just seems to be when I'm little. Okay. All right. Let's try again. Okay. I'm little again. So it looks fine. Let me know if it's gone blurry again. I'm just checking my feed here. Because I just have it run at like a really low rate here. I just choose like the 144. Oops, something bad happened there. Hopefully that didn't trash anything. Are you guys still good on that end? Are we still live? Did I do something bad? It should be good, right? I'm just fixing it on my end so I can still see. Oh, I'm scared. Oh yeah, it's the kind of mic that it is. Sorry, Russell. Does the face cam need to wipe? No, it's all clear. And if it's only when it's small, it must be oh, my hand isn't moving while I'm looking. Sorry. It's not so much frozen as it's still. Okay. All right. Well, look, you know what? You guys, you can look at my hand, rather than my face. Oh, it's good now. Okay. I don't even know anymore. What day is it? Yeah, that's right. My hand is still not frozen. All right. Let me check where I'm up to. I'll get the hands moving again. And yeah, Russell, this kind of mic, basically it's a proximity microphone. So basically when I do talk straight into it, it is better. And when I look away, it doesn't pick it up. It's so that it doesn't pick up the rest of my household. That's why I changed microphone. Okay. All right. Where am I up to? So I've done those, done that, done that. Okay. Then it's 2. Still good. It's a little blurry, but it's okay. Maybe I've done something in the settings because I had to refresh the OBS stuff. Maybe I did something in there. I don't know. I'm not going to play with it, guys. I'm sorry if my face is a bit blurry, but better a bit blurry than, not at all. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. Okay. Oh, it's one of those ones. I hate these ones where it's not like a straight, I've got to keep track. But if I just get through this row, then the next row will be easy. Okay. Hey Holly, welcome to the chat. Kathy says, so your time change will make mine 6 p.m. after 7, and then after November 6, it'll be 5 p.m. Is that right? I'm not sure. What we can do is we can test it out. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't work, I'll go back to going from 10 to 12, which will make it 9 till 11. No, 9 till no, I can't remember. You guys will have to do your own math because math and me are just not friends. Okay. But yeah, we'll test it out next week and probably the week after, give it a couple of weeks, and then we'll see how we go. How's that sound? Yes, Francis, I'm on a new color. I'm so excited. I mean, yes, I did work that color at the end of last week, but it's it's still only the second row of the new color, so it's still a new color, right? Um, oh, and yeah, Freak is technically correct. This color is in the blanket on the other end. Freaky, you are hilarious. 11 till 1. Thank you, Knit Spin Girls. So, yeah, so if it doesn't work out for everybody, we'll switch it back and then it'll be 11 for 1. Kathy says, "No worries, I can always watch the replay." Good point, Kathy. Excellent point. But we will. I'm happy to do some testing and see what works, see what doesn't work. Yeah, John, we've got daylight savings is coming in here into some of the states in Australia, not my state. And we're just going to test it out and see what happens. So yeah, but I'll actually schedule the live stream a day or two earlier than usual. So if you guys jump in and check what time it'll be for you, that will make it easier to do all the mathings. YouTube can do the maths for you. So yeah. Just a bit literal. Yeah, just a little literal there, Freaky. Just a little. Okay. Um, we're getting through. I'm really hoping that because I'm just using up the end of some yarn bath here, which is the last of the first ball of which color is this? Seashell. I mean, have you ever seen a seashell this color? I've never seen a seashell that color. But anyway, whatever they want to call it. Yeah. No judgment here, she says judgmentally. No, John, I'm John's saying you're still going to do your normal Brisbane time though. No, I'm going to try and I'm going to start an hour earlier than I would. So I'm going to start Brisbane 9 a.m. 9 till 11 Brisbane time, and we're going to run a test. We're going to run a test. So yeah, but today's standard usual times. But next week we'll try the other times and see how that works for everybody. Because usually I would be like, no, I can't start earlier because I've got school runs and blah 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 blah. Except Abby drives herself to school on Thursdays, so I don't have to worry about that. The inside of seashells are that color. Like if you smash them with a hammer, so they're broken. Jackie says the inside of the big conch. All right. Okay. The big conch shell's that color. Right. Okay. Let me look. I actually prefer the 11 a.m. start, so my vote would be to keep things as they are. Well, what we'll do is I'll run it next week at the earlier time, and then we'll run a poll afterwards and see how everyone felt about it. Because I want to see how I feel about it as well. I may hate it and be like, nah, I don't care what everyone says. I'm going back to my usual time. It's been 10 a.m. for 6 years. I might just forget. I'll be like, la 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 la. Oh my God. Oh, that's right. I said I was going to start early. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, we can run some votes, and I love that you went straight to smashing a shell with them. Yeah, I'm not destructive at all. No. Shell sparkles, smash. Yeah, everyone did jump in about the color. Yeah, my support workers don't leave till 9:30, so I'll always miss a start. Oh, I'm sorry, Lisby. It would mean less prep time for me. That is true. I tend to start my day a bit slower on Thursdays now that Abby takes the car and kick back on the couch and have a coffee and all that jazz. I mean, like, okay, all right. Well, let's put a poll in right now. Okay, so we're talking about changing it because I thought it was going to be helpful for everybody. I'm going to put a poll in. Hang on. I gotta type. Helps if I can type and spell and stuff. Like you guys are watching me type. You know that feeling? Yeah. All right. There we go. There's a poll. I'll leave it running for a while. So I've just put my times in just so I understand the results. Oh, hang on. There's a big schmutzy schmutz. That's horrid. That's a horrid bit. I don't like that bit. It's the end of the ball as we know it. Okay. Hey Beck, welcome to the chat. Yeah. Okay. More shells can be that color. Fine. Shells can be that color. Fine. I still think smashing them with a hammer. But anyway. I haven't caught the last 2 episodes of Andor. I'm only up to episode 2. So no spoilers, please. I'd appreciate that. I have to admit, I did struggle my way through the second one. I'm like, oh my God, I just want to smack that guy in the face. But I'm sure that things will get better because the thing I've learnt about the Star Wars miniseries is they start off pathetically slow. I listened to an interview that Eric Kripke did. So he was the creator of Supernatural, and he has been working on The Boys. And he said that one of the things he really hates is these big movie houses coming in and basically making a movie, but then splitting it into 6 parts. So they've got all of these, it's a slow start. And he's just like, just make TV for TV. And I'm on a bit on his page with that. Like, if you want to make a TV series, you need to hook me. And I don't like to wait until like 4 or 5 episodes in when there's only one more episode left to get totally hooked. If it's a movie, I'm happy to have a bit of a slower start. But if it's a TV series, I'd like to enjoy that. Good morning, Abby. How you going? This is why I haven't been replying to your messages. It's live stream day. Um, it's Abby, easy on the language, honey. I'm actually going to remove that one because we don't allow that kind of language in the chat. If I can grab it, remove comment. You've been moderated, Abby. I had brekkie and crawl back into bed. I don't blame you. Today's been a good day for that. This is so tangled. Hook jokes match this channel. Yeah, they do. I can't believe Rob Zombie has anything to do with the new Monsters movie. I don't know anything about the new Monsters movie. Yeah, and that's the other thing, John. I agree with you. I would like to binge watch. Like, if I've got some time on the weekend to sit and watch a pile of episodes, I would like to be able to do that. But I get to sit down and watch one, and then it's just like, okay, now I have to do something else or find something else to watch while I've actually got time to do it. Abby's 13 seasons into Grey's Anatomy. I am 12 or 13 seasons into Supernatural's 15 seasons. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I got a message this morning, Lisby, saying that the latest season of Mighty Ducks was just released. Absolutely. I haven't watched it. I was like, everyone sit down and get ready for this. I was never a fan of the Mighty Ducks. I know, it's shocking. Jackie says that she's about 2 seasons into Grey's Anatomy. There you go. Mighty Ducks was a movie, but now it's also a series, so it's been rebooted as a series. So, yeah. So you had, like, I think was it 3 Mighty Ducks movies? And then wait 15 years and then turn it into a series. I think that's how it is. It's what they did with lots of things, actually. Um uh It once you've can you I don't know, I always thought you could, like, once you've answered the poll. Oh, maybe you can't. Oh, well, there's nothing I can do. I wanna leave the poll there. I mean, I'm looking at this result. 88% are just saying leave it so far. Don't forget to vote on the poll, everybody who's here. And the reality is it'll be mostly those of you who watch from the start, so that will be mostly affected, and those of you that come in at the end. So, yeah. Cool Runnings is an awesome movie, Abby. I love Cool Runnings. Uh, Let me look. Did I miss something in the chat? John's avoiding the new season of Cobra Kai. Why? Just out of curiosity. Oh, thank you, Leanne. Yeah, I thought if you just tap the dots, there was an option to remove it. I don't have that option. My options are end the poll. That's just like, oh, that's not yet. Sally says, I don't really mind what time, but I do like the idea of sleeping in a little more. Oh, Francis, I know. I find that as well. Like when I'll go back and watch something and then realize, hang on a second, I don't think I've seen this episode before. I found a few like that in Supernatural, and like that it's like the other day there was this really, really ridiculously sad episode. Sorry, I just whacked the microphone with my hook. And I'm like, I don't remember this episode. It's too sad. I had to like turn off Supernatural because it was just a really that's something I'll say about that show. It's an action-packed, goofy, dumb show, but it like hits all the emotions. Oh, you're saved because you don't watch it at all. I'm saving it for a time when there's nothing to watch. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. It's one of those things, isn't it? Scary to think. Oh, yeah. That's a side convo. I will ignore it. I tell you what, like Abby's talking about how cold she is. I've got the fan on in here because I've had to shut the door because my husband's working from home today, and he's mostly quiet except for when he's on a call, and then he's very loud. Jackie says, I find that when I catch reruns, they seem to be the same episodes. Yeah, they rerun the same episodes. Oops, over and over again. I'm just gonna move my little chair. So yeah, I agree with you. So then when you catch it on like a streaming service where you're watching every episode in the correct order, and then you know it's just a bit full on when you realize you've been missing stuff, and especially when something's like important for the plot, like the long-term plot of the show. No, Abby, I'm coming after the live stream. Oh dear. Oh no, I don't think I'm gonna have enough yarn. I'm gonna have to join the other ball, and it's a different batch. You know what? I don't care. I'm not pulling out this row for that. I'm just not. I'm just not. No one will notice. No one will notice. We'll see. Oh my gosh. I really thought there was gonna be enough in that mess to get me to the end of the row. And I was thinking, "Oh, I don't mind throwing out a little bit." Oh my gosh. Abby will notice. Thanks, Abby. Yep. Abby will be like, "So, where's that spot that you changed the color? Oh, yes, I see it. It's hideous. You should fix that." Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, I'm actually overheating a little bit, truth be told. Hang on. I'm just going to change chairs. This chair's a bit lower. There we go. Oh. All right. Does that make... I need some water. Sorry, my head just got very... Okay. All right. Yeah, like, and that's the thing, isn't it? Like, the DVDs are always... I think I love getting the DVDs of shows that I love, right? And one of the things I learned about Supernatural, because I've also recently started listening to a Supernatural podcast. So I've got Supernatural on the brain. Is that they actually have the streaming services have got different music for season 1 than the DVDs do, because back in the day when they first got the contract, like the copyright for that, like for the rights to that music, it didn't include digital access because it was before that, and they couldn't get digital access. So they actually just had to change all the music, which was just weird. I'm not sure if it was all of the music, but some of the music is definitely different between season 1 DVDs and season 1 streaming. It's just weird. I just noticed the 2 bags of pistachios I bought are unsalted. I always buy the unsalted. So, yeah. Yeah. UPS systems kicked in for a bit. Oh, Russell, I'm worried about you being in that, like, that being necessary for your UPS to kick in. I really am. Yeah. Oh, the best thing about DVDs is being able to skip the skip button. But you can do that on a lot of on like you can skip intro on a lot of shows now. I don't know if it's all of them. I'm going to have to go and check Star Trek Enterprise now to see if the skip intro, because that's a terrible song. Like, I like a lot of the Star Trek music, but I don't know what they were thinking. Like, lyrics? Seriously? I just yelled at Nana to join the live stream. Yeah. Oh, your chair keeps sinking. It's on its way out. Oh, that's horrible. This chair, I think the other, like the little stool I've got, it actually raises higher than my office chair does. So I was all set up on a different height, but I just needed to, yeah, change. Oh yeah, John, I've got all the DVDs too, honestly, and yeah. Bob's fixed my bike. Awesome. Go and enjoy that. Don't forget to wear your helmet. So Abby's bike had been left out in the elements. Now it had been propped up. Oh, I'm at the end of the yarn. Hang on. I'm gonna have to pull back a couple of stitches so I've got enough tail. All right, let me just grab the next one. Yeah, so Abby's bike had been it was sort of in the elements, sort of not in the elements, enough in the elements that it didn't like it. And Mum's partner is a wizard when it comes to fixing things and making them awesome. And so when I took Abby down, we threw her bike in the boot to see if he could, put his magic on that. Oh, only 80-mile-per-hour winds and 20-foot seas. Nothing to worry about. Goodness me. Where's my scissors? Oops, buy whatever you were that just fell off the table. Far out, John. Russell. That's a horrible end on that. That's look at that. Up across. It's all fluffy and gross. Chop that off. Okay, let's join the yarn. All right. Get that over there. Oh, please don't be... Actually, it's not too different. Oh, look at that. I actually think it's fine. Hang on. I just want to work over this tail a little. Okay. All right. Okay. Just a walk in the park. Oh, hi, Mum. Welcome to the chat. Oh dear. Bob is the Tinker Elf. That's exactly right. Mum's partner's name is Bob, and he is the Tinker Elf for sure. Um, my chair doesn't go up anymore. Had it for ages, and the kids used to lean on it while I was sitting, so we exceeded the carry capacity, destroying the gas lift. Oh, it's the same color. It looks the same, John. It is the same color. Like, it's pretty the same. It's enough. It's close enough. Shh. I'm not gonna pull out nearly an entire row. It's it's close enough, John. Stop picking on me. Um, Mum's in the chat. Gotta be good now. No, I don't. Yeah, it is a different dialect for sure. But like, really? You got oh, you're messing with me. John, stop that. That's not nice. But yeah, I think it is actually I don't know if it's a different dialect because I don't have the other that Ball of Nightmares band. I just had the Ball of Nightmare. Jeez. Yeah, I think look, I'm looking at it in, like, true light, and it looks fine to me. I look, you know what? Sometimes I think, surely John can just be nice sometimes and actually be trying to help, and then I remember I used the word John, and then I can't, you know? See, you let John the Goober mess with your head, and now it's a topic. Yes, exactly, Jen, correct. We're moving on. Now we need John as a Goober merch. Oh, Ruth Young, who's riding out the Hurricane Ian and has lost part of her roof. Ruth, are you safe though? Is your family safe? I hope everyone's okay. We've got, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, in America right now, Hurricane Ian is batting down on Florida. And a few of our members here are living in Florida or in Florida, so I'm a little worried. Um, yeah, I don't like it when I hear about this stuff. So we've got Ruth and Gabby and Russell are all in Florida. Russell's got UPS on his computer, so he's still able to chat a little, even when his power fluctuates. So, yeah. I always think like the names that they use for these like hurricanes and like in Australia we name our cyclones. And it's just like that's it. That's the name now. It's like that name will always be associated with like destruction. Like we had Cyclone Tracy that just demolished half the country. And Tracy's just not a name I can say without thinking of it now. Ruth says, I'm sitting in my car. Ruth. Gosh. Leanne says, crossing all the things. Yeah. Yeah, like definitely put into the chat, into the Facebook group, Ruth, or even DM me if you need help with anything. I don't know what we can do, but we can try and rally someone local. Yeah. Lots and lots of stuff happening. And there's stuff happening in California this morning that hit the news in Australia, which is just devastating yet again. And I don't know why I'm shocked every time I hear about it, but I am. And yeah, just stuff. So let's talk about craft for a bit. Everybody here, what is your favorite yarn to work with? Pop that in the chat. Your absolute favorite. It doesn't have to be budget. It can be budget, whatever. Whatever you're like, you always want to use that yarn, and then for whatever reason you can't for a project and you're always disappointed. So what is your favorite yarn? And this is for me so that I can stop focusing, but you guys are more than welcome, and please continue to chat about all the stuff in the chat. I just need to move my brain on, otherwise I'm going to cry and I don't want to. So this is what I'm doing. Yeah. So we will. Francis says, my own hand spun from 17 micron merino. That sounds amazing. Leanne says cotton all the way. I love cotton too, Leanne, so much. I really do. I've got a kit coming. I don't know what kind of yarn it is. I can't remember. Melissa's ordered a few of the kits for a couple of us, I think, or it might just be me and Melissa. I don't even know. But I'm interested to try a new yarn. I've been using the Knit Picks Brava for a long time now. Linda says, I don't actually have one, but it's a 4-ply if I did. Deb says, I have 2 Bendigo Cot and Fiberific hand dyed. I definitely miss dyeing. Kathy says, I don't think I have a favorite yarn yet. Oh, there you go. And Kathy, you use a lot of yarn. So do you have a least favorite yarn? Do you have a yarn that you don't like to use? Knitspin Girl says, I love using my hand spun, especially from Charlie's fluffs. I can imagine they would be delicious. The best yarn I've worked with was the hand-dyed merino cashmere blend I made my scarf from. That sounds lovely too. I remember that's the green scarf, isn't it? Or the green speckly scarf. I don't have one, but Artsog loves the Four Seasons Marvel from Spotlight. Special DK for acrylic from Jen Deal. John says, I have Special DK, but I haven't used it yet. Not a favorite brand, but really enjoy the drape of alpaca. So soft. It's all good, Kelly. You're allowed to enjoy alpaca. I just can't. Francis says, my least favorite is heirloom 8-ply. So everybody, what is your least favorite yarn? So if you can write least, at least, so because like Sandy here is like, I don't know if Special DK is her favorite or her least favorite. Florida Living is being a smarty pants. Oh no, he has. He's color checked. He's color checked my yarns. Get away! Stop that. Oh my gosh. I'll get a proper photo of it with like, because this camera with this light is. I actually think I've got the light on a little bit bright, and it's. I might just drop it down a little. There you go. That feels a bit more what the colors actually are. Where did I change here? So I changed in there somewhere. But yeah. That's mean. Don't do that. Don't color check my yarns. Red at least is red heart everything. Oh my gosh. Let me see. I'm just scrolling back. Yeah. Gabby doesn't have a favorite. Mum says that fluffy stuff, it does my head in. I'll never use it again. Fair enough. Least favorite is anything polyester. I break out in a rash. Oh, fair enough. Kathy needs some help, actually. So if anyone can give Kathy some advice, she's looking for size 5 cotton. Anything besides DMC Pearl. I think the size 5, like, there's not many that make it. Yeah. Least favorite is cotton, peaches, and cream. Yeah, it used to be really nice. It is now not. Um, my favorite is wool, and the least favorite is alpaca from Knit Spin Girls. I haven't used it yet, but I subscribe to Ash and Eve Designs Doctor Who yarn subscription. Oh, I missed it, and I'm kicking myself. I'm just saying that. Um, I can't recall what it was, but the least favorite yarn I've used is a flannel texture with bobbles along it. Oh, that sounds dreadful. That sounds really awkward to use. Don't really like acrylic anymore from Allison. Sandy says, my least favorite acrylic from that shop. Sandy, I don't know what that shop is. Is there something I don't know? Have I missed another big controversy of the yarn store variety? I probably have. I've been living under a rock. So yeah, possibly. Doctor Who yarn is bigger on the inside. No, one of the Australian dyers. Oh, okay, that's okay. All right, Spotlight. Fair enough. It's bigger. Yeah, this amazing colorways dyed inspired by Doctor Who. All right, hang on. I'm at the end. I gotta double check I'm doing the right thing. So it's one there, then two, then two. And then three. Okay. Not a fan of Muppet Murder. Yeah, I don't like Muppet Murder yarns either, honestly. I find my biggest issue with them is that if I make a mistake trying to pull them out to fix the mistake, it's just a legit nightmare. So yeah. Yay, we finished a row. Woo! I finished a row. I'm so excited, can you tell? All right. Now, I've got to switch back to the start. Now, with the purple ball is turning into this sort of like mess, right? So I'm going to go from the outside for a row or two just to try and clean up some of this. I don't even know what it is. I did have there it is. So it's going to be, oh my gosh, I thought that was on the outside, but it's not. I mean, it is, but it's not, but it is. What am I doing? Oh, no, I'm just doing the wrong thing. It's fine. There's nothing to see here. There we go. This is gonna just be bad. No matter what I do, it's gonna be bad. Needs more coffee. I agree. Thank you. Yep, coffee time. Sue Ellen says, I want a Doctor Who yarn subscription. I don't blame you. It looked amazing. I don't know if it's still going. Get the winder. Oh, I don't have a winder that will take that much yarn. And I have a heavy duty winder. I'm just tipping the tea in. It's too hot to drink. But by the time I remember that I tipped the tea in, it will have cooled down. Okay. Yeah, I need to get through a bit more of the ball before it'll fit on my winder because it's a 500-gram ball and it's just a mess. That's the downside, everybody. The upside was it saved me dollars. The downside was I have to deal with the ball. I'm laughing at Artzog begging Vampire for coffee. Given that disaster, I would turn it into a few cakes. I'm tempted also because, like even if I cut it off and make it like smaller cakes, because we do just a row and then cut it off, I don't think like there'd be too much risk of having to do multiple joins and things like that. Although knowing my luck, every single one would be in the middle of a row. Because I'm awesomely and supremely lucky. Now, guys, There is something on its way to me. I ordered a new hat and a new shirt, right? So that's fine. Um, then, but it's part of a competition that if you get the golden guitar pick, you win a beautiful guitar. So if you guys can all send some positive juju out into the world, because I really want to win that guitar because it's beautiful. Um, and I could never buy one like that, but I would like to win one. So yeah, yes, this queen is for me, Kerry. There is no way known to man that this queen is leaving me now because it has taken 2 years to construct. Um, yeah. All right, let me just get the pattern to where it's useful. Um, yeah, so I'm very excited about it, and I just got shipping notification today that my order is finally shipped. Um, so fingers crossed it gets here quite quickly because I think I would scream or faint. Actually, I don't know. I have no idea what I'd do if I won that particular competition. I have no idea. Yeah, I do play guitar, John. Um, so yeah. Um, but yeah, it's just something that I'd love to win. Use a winder till it can't take anymore and finish winding by hand, then you don't have to cut it. I'm allergic to cutting yarn if I don't have to. That's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. And my winder is somewhere relatively handy, I think. I could probably go and grab it. Oh, my guitar is hiding in my shower at home. Oh, I hope it's in a case and it's all safe. We had, like when we first moved into this house, we didn't realize that our house didn't flood. So there was like all this water everywhere and streets around us were flooding and I'd moved everything up onto like above table height and things like that. And then into the car, I packed my guitar and family photos and hard drives off the computers and laptops and all that sort of stuff. And like birth certificates and passports and all that sort of stuff as well. Um, but yeah, one of the things that came in was my guitar. It's just like throw it in its hard case, throw it in the boot. Because it's just one of those things I can't afford to replace. So it's not I've got very small hands, so I've got a 3/4 size guitar. So it's not something that's easily like replaceable. So yeah. Um my son has mine. I too hope he is taking care of it. Yeah, I hope so. Alison says, I'd like to learn how to play guitar one day. It is a fun thing to do. I'm not very good. I need to put that out there. I'm not very good, but I enjoy it. And to me, that is worth it. Like, I can play enough that I recognize what the song is, and that's good enough for me. So, and I play all different types of music and stuff. So I enjoy it. It's just relaxing. And I haven't played for a little while. I should play again. But yeah. Ugh. Francis says, I play ukulele and my uke is irreplaceable. Yes. And is it because of like memories and things like that? Or is it like something else, another reason? For me, it's like I bought my guitar for myself for my 21st birthday. I went out to the music shop and I sat down and I tried a whole pile of guitars. And the guy in the shop was really lovely, and because like other people come in and they can riff off crazy stuff, and I'm just like just playing, just and because he was just like, so are you here to actually buy? And I'm like, I am, but I've got little hands, so I need to work out if I can reach. And he just went, awesome, here, and just moved me to a different section of the store. And he actually had a few different 3/4 sizes for me to try. So I have an Art and Illusory 3/4 size steel string. And I love it. I think it's cherry and oak. Yeah. Artux says I used to play Guitar Hero. Does that count? I'm like, I like Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero is fun. It's not like playing a guitar, but it's still fun. I got it secondhand and the company stopped producing them and it's top level, so many reasons. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, mine was expensive for me 20, mumble years ago. Um, but I loved it. Like he put it in my hands and I started playing and he smiled and he's walked off and I've sort of like I was holding it and I've called it. I'm like, I want to get this one. And he goes, I know, I'm getting its case. So I was just like, oh, okay. All right. So we got a hard case for it. And it was great. So it's one of those things like sometimes the people just know it's like, yeah, that's your one. You're gonna take that one. Um Stuart bought me mine when I was way pregnant with Alicia and she turns 37 this year. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. My mum plays as well, and so does my dad and both of my brothers. It was just the thing. I mean, my brother Daniel is unbelievably talented. He can listen to a song on the radio and learn how to play it. It's very frustrating. Um, I need to sit down with the music for basically weeks before I learn a song. And then what's really frustrating is he'll watch me for 1 minute and then play it better than I did. It's very disappointing. Like I love that he has that talent. I just don't love that you know, it took me weeks to get to where I got to, and he's just like, "Oh, is that bit right?" Like, and then just goes, and you just like, ah. Anyway, fine, here, you play it. Um, but yeah, and my dad plays lots of instruments as well. Abby's very musical. Um, but yeah, we like music. I've just about always got music playing. I go into people's houses sometimes and there's like no music, and you look around and there's nowhere for them to play music, I'm always surprised by that. I'm like, really? Nothing? So, I mean, it's harder to spot now. Like in this room, my music all comes out of this. So, it's a bit easier to hide. Um, Again, when it says my oboe is like that, my grandfather paid for it for me to go to uni and study music, but now it reminds me of sad times and I don't play. Oh, that's sad. Um, Spin Girl says, but I bet he can't make beautiful things from fluff and yarn. No, he can't. And he also always requests one of my beanies. So he's always like, I need new beanies. I'm like, didn't I just make you one? Yes, but I need another one. So yeah, we all have different skills, right? Leanne says, I've always got the radio on at least. Yeah. I know I've got my YouTube music playlists and I've got a few different ones depending on what kind of music I feel like. And then sometimes I'll just be like, what's popular on YouTube right now? And then he's like, no, back away, back away. Vampire says most of our music is either on our Xbox or on our PC. Yeah. Like most of our bought CDs, we've ripped onto the computer so that we could throw them onto our devices. So I don't tend to buy as much music as I used to. Because I pay for music streaming services. So, but every now and again, like if I go and see an indie band, I will buy theirs. If I like an indie band, I'll buy theirs because they need it. And streaming services don't actually pay as much as people think. I'd have more music on, but someone doesn't like it too heavy. Look, you know what? When I'm just listening to music, I'm not listening to anything too heavy either. I'm just got like chill music that I can hum along to or, crank the volume and sing a bit out. But usually it's not unless I'm like trying to torture Abby or something, it's usually fairly quiet. I do this thing because we've got a lot of Google devices in our house. So I've got them set up on Google Home. And what I do is I'll actually put music and put it on at like 20 or 30%, but it'll play off all the Googles around the house. So you walk around the house and the music's the same volume everywhere. I really like that. That's one of my favorite features about having all the Google Homes. I just traded my car and the current car has a CD player. These are the things that excite me. Yeah, so when we bought the X Trail, it had a six stack CD player. And then we wanted to upgrade to be able to get the reverse camera and everything, so we had to lose the 6-stack CD player, but it got a better input for our phones, so we just play on the phones. Lisby says, "The main reason I hate streaming services, they don't do a good mix of the decades. I like someone to collate the music for me." I would seriously go and look at your streaming services, because I was just like, "I need some 80s rock." So I just typed up 80s rock, and I got these most amazing playlists, and I added a lot of them to my driving playlist. So I would make sure you're searching for the right things. Um Vampire and Art Talk are having their own conversation in the chat. Um, People ask why Gen X is so mad because we bought records, then tapes, then CDs. I know, I've seen this. This is hilarious. And then MP3s, and now we have to stream. Like, how many times do I have to pay for ACDC? And then Abby's in here. Oops, Abby's in here buying records again. Like, she's got Fleetwood Mac, and oh, she's so upset at the moment. She broke the needle off her record, right? She didn't realize how gentle she had to be, so she got it for Christmas. She has been waiting since about April or May for the new one to arrive, and she just received an email saying, "Look, we actually don't know when they're gonna come in, sorry." So she's got this record player and she can't play records. I'm tempted to try and find her a needle somewhere else, because it's a specific one, because it's a little cassette that you just sort of slide on. I'm a bit disappointed. Bought some Beats Pro for the gym, and the sound quality isn't very good. Yeah, Beats aren't awesome. They used to be, about 3 or 4 years ago, the Beats were great. They had really good sound quality, and they were really awesome. But now for that kind of money, I'd be looking at Sony or Bose, or Sennheiser. Yeah, Beats are they're just a brand now. It's really sad. Oh, wow. Gentile? Are you kidding? That's terrible. Lisby, with YouTube Music, if it notices that you like a particular style of music, in the playlists that they create for you, your mixes and your super mix, you can be listening to a playlist of 80s bangers, and then you'll notice that the super mix changes to music that people who like that also like this, and you'll start to get more stuff suggested. But you can do it that way. I don't know if Spotify does that, but I know YouTube does that. Jackie. A lot of the headphones, you can't change the equalizer settings anymore. Like, they have like a couple of options like voice or music or heavy bass, but you can't manually change the equalizers. But yeah, the Beats, they're not good anymore. It's very disappointing. I think Abby got the last Beats before they went meh. And hers are dying. So the thing I love about, like, I've got Bose's and I've got the Sony XM4s, is that when the earpiece perishes and dies, you can actually pull it off and replace it. You can buy replacement parts. The Beats ones, apparently I can't do it, or it's like a massive. Oops, I'm just single crocheting like a crazy person here. How many times have I done that? Nope, just this one. So that's good. So yeah, apparently you can't do it with the Beats, which just does my head in. It's like, that means that these have the life expectancy of whatever that thin piece of foam is. Alison uses the AirPod Pros. I'm not a fan of the AirPod Pros either. Could be because it's, Apple, and I'm, biased. Lisby says, I've Spotify, Apple Music, and some American one Brendan likes. None of them give a good mix of different styles. It just sounds like you need the radio. And let someone else do it. But yeah, I like Google Play Music. But the problem with Google Play Music is that for it to start recommending, you have to search for a little bit to start with, and then it starts recommending. And I love my playlists now. Like, I've got the ones that I've curated, nothing gets added to those. But the super mixes, like there's like a pile of different super mixes because I've got like all different music things that I like. So, my chill one gets new things added to it. My rock one gets things added to it. My lo-fi gets stuff added to it. So it's all, yeah, it's different. Yeah. Oh no, the AirPod Pros are over ear. They're not in ear. They're actually big headphones. Um, yeah. I'm not Yeah, I would watch some reviews. I don't know if they're what you'd need either, honestly. Um, let's have a look here. Yeah, Beck, Abby's our one for that. Abby's like got super eclectic taste, except also everything must include Harry Styles when it comes to Abby making your playlist. No matter what, there will be Harry Styles in that playlist. Sue says, I just got an under pillow speaker so I can listen to music. See, I actually wear noise cancelling headphones because of Super Snorer who lays next to me. Because the under speaker, I couldn't hear it. And then when I put it up loud enough so that I could hear it, he complained that it was too loud. So yeah, I wear noise cancelling. I actually wear Sony XM4s to bed. They are not comfortable to sleep in, let me tell you. But I do what I must to try and sleep. I don't want big over ear headphones for the gym. Yep. I mean, I think you're gonna have big limitations. Yeah. There's not a lot that are either not in ear and not big over the headphones. I saw a guy who was talking about these ones that he has. I don't know what the audio quality is like, but it actually sits at the front of your ear and vibrates through the bone. Yeah. The headband ones for sleeping, I roll around in my sleep and they end up coming off. So the headphones hold on better. So yeah, I've killed a few things over the years. Yeah, you're stuck with what you've got for a little while. Yeah, I understand. Um, what did I miss? Some Florida hurricane humor. Wife says to husband, if you don't stop eating all the hurricane snacks, you won't fit into the little helicopter basket. Jeez. Oh, Russell. I hope the freezer's staying good so that special ice cream's staying good. Um, Linda says that those vibration ones are great. You can still hear a conversation going on at the same time as listening to music. Yeah, I've heard like pretty decent reviews. I don't know about the music quality or anything like that, but apparently it's good. Francis says I've decided I need to get earplugs for blocking out my husband's snoring. Yep, I recommend it. My headphones can't connect to my laptop via Bluetooth. It's very annoying. Why can't they? Are they Bluetooth headphones? Just out of curiosity. And do you have the Bluetooth on your laptop turned on? I mean, all these things I'm sure you've checked. So, yeah. I hate that, like, I'll be, like, ready for bed, go to turn on the headphones, and the headphones go, "Low battery." And you're just like, "Ugh." So you've actually got to just wait for half an hour while they charge, and then you can go to sleep. Um, yeah. Yeah, but Beats aren't good. That's the problem. Beats aren't good. I would go to Playtronics before I went to Beats. Beats used to be great. They were really good, and then they were bought out, and now they're just a brand of dodgy, not awesome headphones. I've just got used to sleeping with the Chainsaw Freight Train soundtrack. It's so quiet when he's away that I have trouble going to sleep. My problem is that I now have tinnitus from sleeping next to something that I measured decibels on. And so I have to protect my ears by covering them when I'm in that proximity. Otherwise, the tinnitus will get worse. And it's bad enough. It's so frustrating. Um, uh, they're fine when they're connected to the iPad. Checked all the things, checked reviews. If they connect to the iPad via Bluetooth, then the problem's probably the laptop, not the headphones. Unless they're still connected to the iPad and they can only be connected to one thing at once. Actually, that could be it. Some things you have to actually cancel connections and make it forget all the connections because it will only allow it to be connected to one thing. Like you've only got like 3 devices. Even if it's only connected to one, it can only remember 3 and then it's full. So it'll depend, but you might have to remove something from its, oh, you've done that as well. Okay. Linda says, I just have my own room, banish the other half to another room so I could sleep. Oh, yes. That is always an option. Beatles are deaf. Yes, they are, apparently. Yeah, tinnitus isn't great. Let me just put that out there. If you're sleeping next to something that's getting very, very loud, over many years, that could actually damage your eardrums. It's like, it's bad. So you've got to protect your ears. I have a Bluetooth adapter for the radio at work. It can only be paired to one device at a time. Yep. Yep. Some things are like that. Have you Googled it, Sally? Have you checked to see if other people with the same device is having the same problem? That would be my first point of call. Because usually a Whirlpool forum or something will come up with a fix and you'll be like, oh, why didn't I think of that? Oh, you've done that. Okay. Well, I don't have anything else. That's it. That's the end of my skills. I'm looking at the poll, guys. Like for those of you that don't know, we have a poll running because we're about to hit some daylight savings changes interstate here in Australia. And I was thinking about streaming at a different time to make it easier for people, but it is looking like at this stage, you guys just want me to keep streaming at my normal time, which is 10 a.m. for me, which will mean that you guys need to do your own jiggery pokery math and work out when and when I'm live for you. So just be prepared that next week it will appear to be a different time. So, because we have 81% of people who have answered the poll at this stage are just telling me just to keep doing it at my usual time for me. Don't change it. And that they will adjust. So, I'm on the last thing. I got to double check I'm doing it right. Oh, wow. I automatically did it right. That is weird. I have mad skills. Mad skills here, everybody. I automatically did the right thing. We have another row complete. Woot woot. Dunskies. And the outside of this ball looks less like a dog's breakfast. Check that out. It looks much tidier. So it's still a bit loose. It's still a bit squishy. But much tidier. It's cleaned up. One row from the outside cleaned up all the mess, which is great. I was worried that it wouldn't. John says, I asked my robot girlfriend what time it is for you before I message you. Keeping your time still is the easiest. Yeah. Perth folk, look, you know what? I love the Perth folk, but they're 3 hours behind. It is too early for them. And if I went earlier, it would be even earlier, I think. So yeah. Okay. I just need to double check where I'm working up to on this chart. Okay, because I know I have to change to the where am I on? 205. 201, 202, 203, 204, and I'm starting 205. So I only worked to 206, and then I'm on to the third and final chart. Is it third and final? Yes, my God, we're nearly on to the next chart. Oh my gosh. That's exciting. All right. Second last, I'm on to 205. Yes. Second last row on this chart, and then we're on to the final chart. Oh, I'm so excited. Can you tell? Can you tell I'm so excited? I'm not saying any of those words. I don't have either of those devices. Well, actually, my iPad might. I don't think I've actually got it set up. Would it still work if I don't have it set up? I don't know. I've gone the Google way. The end is nigh. It is. Oh my gosh. Chooks are locked up for their safety, but they're protesting. Chooks will do that. They're very big on the protestings. Okay. Oh man. I'm nearly onto the final chart, you guys. Like I know that's still like a huge bucket load of like work, but that's the final chart. You know? I just hit the microphone with my glasses somehow. I don't even know how. I don't even know how I did that. Okay. I've moved is what it is. And now I'm hitting the back of it with my crochet hook. We're not winning. This is all the fail. Okay. 1, 2, then 2. Then just bringing the chart over so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah. That means there's 3 colors on the final chart. Does that sound right? Hang on. 1, 2. Yep. Okay. 3 colors on the final chart. Yeah, Jen's got an excellent question. In the time it's taken Chantelle to work on this queen, how many things have everybody else made? Yeah. Oh, goodness me. Okay, so 1, 2, then 1. Is that the regular pattern? Yes, it is. Okay, let me have a look here. John says 4.75. Oh my gosh, John. Okay. Yeah. We were very lucky because of where we live. We didn't have to worry about foxes with our chickens. Where we've got friends who live 5-10 minutes away and they lost all their chickens to foxes, but it was just like they're on property and we're in suburbia, and chickens will take out a cat. So, you know, the cats were the biggest issues. Yeah. Vampire says, I've started many things and I've frogged many things. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm nearly at the end. I'm no closer than the end than at the end than I was 5 minutes ago. But now my brain's like, oh my God, we're nearly at the last chart. Isn't it amazing that sometimes just a little milestone will just spur you on? I know, but look how much you've done. I agree. Like this is a massive project. Like it's enormous. This blanket is huge. It is 2.2 meters wide and it's already 2 meters long. So it's going to be even longer. Is it 2 meters yet? It's pretty close to 2 meters. It is a very big blanket and I only really get to work on it during the live streams. Whoops, fix that up. Francis says, well, I've spun about 6 kilos of wool and woven maybe 10 scarves and crocheted some too. Captain America's in the chat. It's very relaxing. Hello, Captain America. Welcome. But yeah, it's definitely a long-term project, and I will be quite happy when it's over and I get to make something else. And because I've been focusing on it, I haven't actually enjoyed working on other projects because my brain is just like, "Oh my gosh, you need to finish the blanket." So, I'm still in the middle of the mitts for my mum, and I'm still knitting the t-shirt in silk for me. But I mean, they're much smaller projects, so they're more better for travel and like, little lap projects. But this one needs a table, and it's a big project. I didn't realize I'd pushed that into the shot. Let's pull that away. There we go. Knitspin Girl says, why did I think knitting a lace shawl on 435 stitches was a good idea? Yeah, it's never good. Captain America, I would never take that the wrong way. That is an awesome, relaxing way to fall asleep. And if it helps, then it helps, full stop. So Molly Finley has made 2 jumpers, Stardust Melodies, blanket, pot holders, and various other things. Wow. Yeah, Alison, that's the other thing. We are heading into summer. I mean, I've already got a fan on in here. I mean, mostly because the room was really stuffy. But yeah, it's going to get hotter here. Jen's made 3 queens. In the time it's taken me to make one, Jen's made 3 queens, a Montana, a shawl, 3 baby blankets, 3 Christmas ornaments, 3 washcloths, and 2 wall hangings, and a partridge and a beanie. Yep. So funny. So very funny. Am I awake? No, we know you're not awake, Freaky. It's all good, man. And it's like crazy o'clock for you. I'm always blown away at those of you that are up at crazy, crazy time. It's crazy, crazy time. I'm going to have some more tea. What have you guys all got in your cup? I've got the licorice root tea that I drank. It's getting a bit cool now. I think I need to top it up. A Montana is another one of the amazing designs from Tina, whose surname I can't say. So I'll go and check it out. So it's another mosaic, which is this style of crochet. Sparkling, nothing for Sally. Her cup is empty. Molly says I have the heater on. It's 12 degrees here. So that's 12 degrees Celsius for those that need to know. Sparkling water for Leanne. Holly has iced coffee. English breakfast tea, but it's gone cold. Apple cider, nice. Cinnabar tea. Oh, that sounds nice too. Some espresso Italian blend at the moment. Nice. That sounds great. Vampire approved coffee with vanilla. Nice. Tea for Freaky. Good, good, good. Water. Coffee will have to wait till this afternoon. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to, I won't be able to have another coffee now. Well, once I finish the live stream, I'm jumping into the car and driving into state. I'll have a coffee and hang out with my mum a bit, and then I'll jump back in the car and drive home. So I will have earned extra coffees, I think. That's awesome, Captain America. I'm glad that I can help. But yeah, it is definitely water and iced peach tea, hot chocolate with a coffee shot, but it's gone now. Yeah, sometimes you just drink it all. Twinings Defense tea. Is that one of those healthy teas full of all the things? Flat white made on my fancy pants, manual coffee machine, black milk beans from a local roaster. That sounds lovely too. Look at us with all our beveragino. We have all the beverages and we just relax and chill and craft our little fingers off. That's basically what we do. Let me think. Where are we at? Those of you who came to the Fiberific retreat, I am hoping to get to your shirts tomorrow is the plan at this stage. I will have to, I've got some tidying to do. A lot of things got dumped on the table that the cricket works on. So hopefully that'll all be sorted for tomorrow, and not happening today because I'm driving the car for 4 hours. Did I mention I went to Comic-Con on the weekend? You may not have mentioned it in the chat, but I mean, I know because I stalk you on the socials. Sally says, "Oh, I was going to ask about them, but didn't want to rush." No, I'd meant to do them last week, and then everything's just been a little bit on top of me. So, and I didn't want to stuff them up by rushing them. So I definitely have got there on the agenda. They're on the list of tasks. So yeah, because I want to get them done and back to you so you can have your shirts to wear because it's fun. Maybe I can do a weeding impromptu live stream while I, weed out all the cricket stuff. I'll see. I'm not going to promise anything, but I'll see. Now I'm looking at this poll, and a few more people are thinking that it might be nice for me to change, but it's still overwhelmingly it's 78% saying to keep it at the 10 a.m. my time. So maybe we'll do that. Let me look here in the chat. My kids wish they did so many amazing cosplayers. I would never mess up. Like, the cosplayers at Comic-Con are intense. They are just talented. They work so hard, and I'm always blown away. But I also know that they are not going to judge someone else's cosplay, especially if it's a first go. They're super encouraging. And usually at Comic-Con and Supernova, they actually have a stand where people can go and learn how to make different techniques for cosplay. So I remember I went and checked out this amazing foam that they were using to replicate metal in a lot of cosplay. And it was insane. It was so good. So some of it comes down to supplies. So yeah, some of it comes down to being really amazing at makeup. So that rules me out because I'm pretty trash at makeup. That's something I'd love to be better at, is doing makeup. So yeah, it's definitely a skill, but have fun with it. That's kind of the point of cosplay. It's all about having fun with your favorite fandom. No matter what it is, just have a good time. No, and I don't think anyone's going to judge you. They had a cosplay repair booth that was always very busy. Yeah, absolutely. Alison says my kids and their friends are flying to Melbourne for PAX in October. That's going to be amazing because that's the first PAX Oz for a couple of years, isn't it? They didn't run one. Did they run one last year, or was it just virtual last year? I think it was virtual last year. Or it was really limited numbers or something. But also, South by Southwest is coming to Melbourne as well, I think. It's Melbourne or Sydney? I think it's Melbourne, which should be insane. That's another insane event. But I don't know if I'll go. Yeah, PAX is on this year. So if PAX is your happy place, you need to book your tickets. They're already on sale. But yeah, there's just awesome stuff. Yeah, PAX Oz was on every year in Melbourne for quite a few years. Every year, every second year. I think it's every year. Tell you what, no VidCon in Australia at the moment, which is really sad. I really enjoyed heading down to Melbourne for VidCon, and I kind of miss it. We don't have any YouTube events in Australia, which makes me go, and I think someone should make one. Sally says, I know a few Twitch streamers that are going to PAX. Yep, me too. PAX is definitely a better place than like VidCon or something if you're a gamer. But it's still just fun to go and see because they also have all the technology. Like, I love you guys know I'm a technology junkie. So that's probably why I would go. Oh, Natalie says that Morgan brought Sting, the sword from Lord of the Rings, replica sword, not plastic, but it's metal and it's very cool. A game where it says hubby is enforcing at PAX again next weekend. Kiddo's going with friends. Awesome. Ruth, please message me later and just let me know how you're going. I would, I understand. Go and charge up and relax as best you can and look after yourself. But I would love to just hear that you're safe. Yeah. It is a bit scary, everything that's happening at the moment. Lots of crazy weather, crazy instances, all the things. Yeah, so there's lots of events coming up if you like different stuff. Isn't it funny? We talk about VidCon and we talk about PAX, but we don't talk about like crochet and yarn events. It's because we get none in Australia. Except for Crochet Guild Australia has one every second year. I think they're running it next year. If anyone can, have I done something wrong there? Oh, I did. I'm a donkey. I did. Look at that. I was. Look at that. That's exactly that point. I was focusing on working over the stitches rather than, I'm going to have to rip that back. That's annoying. How far? Oh, it's not that far. I can deal with that. Well, that is dumb. How long is my tail? Long enough to throw in an extra double crochet. Good. I've got the wrong glasses on for seeing this. Let me just. All right. Rip, frogging it back. Frogging it back. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so the previous row pattern was, it was just 1, 2, 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3. So let's just, so I just missed a double crochet and it meant I didn't have a full block, so I couldn't leave it. I'm not going to worry about working over the end. I'm just going to work through this yarn buff. Okay, so frogging it. And I thought we were going to get 3 rows done again, but we're not. We're going to get nearly 3 rows done. So let's see how fast we can fix this. Make sure I did fix the problem before I move on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep, okay, cool. All right, fixed. Fiberfest is on here in a couple of weeks. I'm going to miss it as it's the same weekend as my niece's wedding. Trust you to rip more in the Montana than anything you've ever worked on. Oh, trust me, you rip more in the Montana. Oh, okay. All right. That's good to know. Thank you. You singing Frogging It Back has put the Crazy Frog song in my head. I'm very sorry about that. I mean, I'm not really. There's no sorry. There's just what is. But yeah, it's ripped back and now we've got to fix it. And then we can finish the other row. Hopefully I don't trash it again because that's happened before. Fixed it, frogged it, fixed it, and then gone back and realized, nope, didn't fix it, got to frog it again. See you later, Sue Singleton. Have an awesome day. Sue Ellen Stewart says, I love Crazy Frog. Well, let's hope that we can transfer it from Artsog's head to your head because from how he wrote that message, I'm not sure if he likes the Crazy Frog song. Sorry, not sorry. That's exactly right, Sally. Sorry, not sorry. So, yeah, it is definitely a project of frogging it sometimes. Every now and again, I'll be like, you know what? I can jimmy that. I can make it work. But that one was just a bit too blatant and it would bug me and I'd have to go back in and do the dodgy stitch over the top. And that would bug me even more, knowing that I knew there was a problem and I fixed it with a bodgy. So, yeah. Sometimes if you just leave it, you can't notice it. But if you try to fix it, it's like, look at this. You made a complete stuff up. Everybody see the complete stuff up. So, yeah. Oh, dear. But yeah, is there a live on tomorrow on the other channel? And will it also start early next week? So I'm thinking about on the other channel just doing a live with me and having a walkthrough setting up a particular piece of software. I'm not 100% certain I'm going to do that yet. But yeah, it is definitely on the table, and I'll decide later this afternoon if that's what I'm going to do. But at this stage, there is no live scheduled for the live stream channel. And I probably leave that one's times change all the time anyway. So, because it depends on the guests, I let them choose their start time usually, except for Russell, who's like, yeah, your start time's great. Let's make it different. Bob Curran, welcome to the chat, especially where you've got those two different. John, we've spoken about this. Sing it out loud. Summon the monster that lives in Bampi. Oh no, don't do that. Yeah, that's the other thing, Dolores, isn't it? Only you notice the stuff up, and it's glaring, and every time you walk past it, it's the first thing you see. But nobody else picks up on it, and you're kind of like, why can't you see this? This is an absolute dog's breakfast. Don't tell me it's good work. Look at that. Look at that mistake sitting right there that's glaringly blind, like blinding. But yeah, they don't see it because it's actually not glaringly blinding. You just know it's there, so you know where to look for it. So you pull back a third of a row and fix it. And then it's not there and you forget about it. I'm very happy that on this particular project, you can just pull back part of a previous row. You don't have to like rip out all the work you just did and go all the way back down as you would need to do with standard crochet. One more stitch there. Okay. Oh, come on. In we go. I was so proud of that row. I was like, yeah, we did it. And I did the end without checking the pattern and like, woot, woot, so good. And then trashed, have to pull it all out. Now I'm going to get to the end and not be able to do the end of the row without the pattern. Actually, I think I remember it. So I should be good. Should being the operative word. 1, 2, 3. Where are we at? I'm watching the time. Like seeing if I can get that last row done. See if I can, we're getting 3 rows every live stream now. I've got to see if I can make my 3. And then that's the end of this chart. Oh, no, it's not. There's one more purple row after this. Oh, man. I'm so excited. I want the end of the chart. End of the chart. End of the chart. We're nearly there. 1, 2, 3. And then that. I must have crocheted tighter or I've stuffed something else up because I've got more tail. There's more tail than I had before. All right, let's go back and see if we can keep going on our seashell row. And we'll see how far through that we can get before we find whatever the next mistake is. The next mistake is me. It's 1, 2, not 1, 2, 3. If you continue with 3 rows a week, how long do you think? Like a million years, Dolores. I really need to just sit down and make some time and just plow through some, because then I've also still got to do the border. So I've just got to, I've got to do it. I don't think I've got anything planned for this weekend. And so maybe that's what I'll do, but I just have to wait and see, and just power through a few rows, because there's only like 50 or 60 rows left. I think probably not even that. Let me look. Hang on. Let me just look here. 175. Yeah, there's like 50 rows. There's 50 rows left to the pattern. So, if I can step it up a notch and knock some of those over between live streams, we can work on the border. I'm only doing a very narrow border. I'm not doing a really big, thick border, but there will be a border. Yeah. Good job, Artsog. I am so not reading that out because then that will get stuck in everyone's heads. Oh, absolutely, Holly. I've timed it. I can do a row in about 15 minutes. Definitely chatting while I work on them slows me down. There's no doubt. But the goal is to chat. It's not to finish a project. Yeah, I saw what you were doing there, Artsog. Evil doings. But yeah, the goal is to chat. So it's craft and chat where we, it's live craft and chat where we craft and chat live. So we've got to do the chatting bit too. Yeah. So if I could get 5 done a week, it'd be 10 weeks. Yeah, plus the border is the catch. Yeah. But wouldn't it be nice if I could just knock a few rows over? Oops. That would be awesome. And now that because we're into these smaller color changes, the actual colors, you're just like, okay. And we're in colors that I love working with. So that's another section where I'm like, woohoo, all right. You guys are you're not good friends. I'm just saying that right now. Those of you, you know what you're doing, not good friends. Friends don't do this to friends. Oh, no, that's all right, Dolores. I don't feel the pressure. I mean, I feel the pressure because I want to finish it, not because of what you're asking there at all. I really want to finish this project. I want to see how it looks. I want to put photos out there of it all done. I want to lay it out on the grass while the grass is still green, like the grass is about to hit brown season. So I want to lay it out on the grass while the grass is still green. I'm going to have to stand on a ladder to take a photo of it though, because it's just so big. Natalie says about 4 months. Yeah, maybe by Christmas. No, I would like to be done by then. Oh, I did it again. I've got 3s in the brain from redoing that previous row. Yeah, at 3 rows a week. Yeah. Just feels too long. It just feels, I mean, this project has taken way too long. Like Jen Deal said, she's done 3 queens in the amount of time it's taken me to do one. And you know what's really frustrating is I'm actually a pretty quick crocheter. I am actually a pretty fast crocheter usually. I can crochet an entire dress in like full length, full body dress in a couple of weeks if need be. But this blanket has taken 11 billion years. Now, in saying that, it did end up in a naughty corner for a little while. So, I didn't have any work done on it for a while. And that's when I decided to start doing it during the live streams because it was like, then it's done. Then I know I'm working on it. And you guys held me accountable. Yeah, I have a lot of Queen in my driving playlist. So I'm about to be listening to a lot of Queen as I drive for 4 hours this afternoon. Yeah, and like my throat's all raspy, so it's going to be really hard for me to sing out the bangers in the car. Holly says, I took my folk art blanket to the park for a photo shoot and it was nice. We've got a really nice section of our backyard that grows this really yummy, nice grass. It was returfed a couple of years back and it's a really nice bit to take photos on. That's where I took the photos of my Spin Your Granny. So if you spot photos of that, it's in my IG feed. That's where I took those photos and I love that photo. I don't know if it's because I love my Spin Your Granny blanket so much or if it's more for because of the green and the color and all that sort of stuff. Look, I know what the time is. I'm looking at the time, but there is only this much left to go. So I'm gonna keep going for another couple of minutes. So hopefully we've sent Captain America off to sleep and they can have a nice nap. And you guys have nearly finished your things. So according to this, the poll, which I'm going to end now, while I remember, I'm just going to run the streams at my usual time. I'm not going to change them up. And previous years, I've never changed them up either. I've always kept it going at my time, usually because I didn't have a choice. Because like I was doing school runs and stuff like that, so I had to my time. I had to work on my time, but now it's like, well, she drives herself, so I don't have to worry about that. Bub says that her blanket's about to go into summer timeout because where Bub lives gets real hot. Leanne's craft room is currently working on a spin your granny as well. Oh, what have I done there? Oh, how many times have I done that? Let me just double check. Just the one by the looks. Just that one. Yep. That's what happens. I stop focusing and start looking at other stuff. Spin Your Granny is this really amazing pattern. Leanne, would you mind dropping a link for that into the chat? It's this really fun take on granny squares. And the pattern itself, you can do your blanket like 6 different ways using the exact same pattern and get totally different looks. And it's a lot of fun to work on. And it's got also you join all the squares crochet as you go, which is another fun technique. I just found the whole blanket like fun to work on, except for me, there was one slight problem, which was I ran out of yarn and then the yarn I was using was discontinued. And like years earlier, oh, what am I doing? And so then I had to beg, borrow people in like Ravelry, like, I see you've got this random ball of yarn in your stash. May I pretty please buy it off you? And so I did that for a few and still didn't end up with enough and had to join with like a random cotton that I can see the difference, but you can't see the difference too much in photos. So Holly says last month and this month I've managed to complete 3 works in progresses that I've had for going for a while, and it feels so good. Holly, that is awesome. I love hearing about finished projects because I'm living vicariously through everybody else's finished projects because I just don't have any and haven't had any for ages. Molly says, I'll put a post in the fun zone. I have a dilemma with some yarn I dyed, even being careful, and the colors are just ever so slightly different. Can I get some advice? Yeah, pop it into the fun zone and I'll have a look for you. But the thing to remember with hand dyed yarn, no 2 skeins are ever the same. So if you're trying to make them identical, it's not going to work. It's just the nature of hand dyed yarn. But pop the photos in and we'll see if we can't help you get them as close as possible. So those of you that are like wondering what's going on, I used to dye yarn a lot and now I don't because I can't. But yeah. And Leanne's popped the link in for the Spin Your Granny. So go and check that out. It's not a free pattern, but it is worth every cent, honestly. It is so well written and so many options and photos of the options, not just descriptions. And tons of people are making, and if I remember correctly, it's an Aussie designer, which you guys know I'm all about because we don't have very many Aussie designers here. Oh, I'm on the last bit. Hang on. 1, 2, and then 1. And oh, it's very noticeable. All right, we can have a look. And then 1, and then 2. And then this was our 3 rows. We had to go 5 minutes over, but we got our 3 rows today. Woohoo! Yeah, it is a gorgeous pattern, Kathy. I think you would like it. Okay. There we go. Oh, we are Dunskies. 3 rows. No yarn balls attached because I hate moving the pattern over to the other table when I've got to keep the yarn balls attached. It's so frustrating. Wow. Okay. Leanne's popped in a post of a picture of my Spin Your Granny because it was her inspiration for her deciding to do it. Oh my goodness. Okay. I see a use for all my random scraps, says Beck. Yes, absolutely. Like this is the thing. It's such a good pattern and it has so many variations and options. It is like there's not many patterns that give you that is part of the pattern. Some of them be like, oh, you could do that, I suppose. But they actually give you all these options. And then if you go through, the people that have made it have taken it like and turned it on its head, and it's even different again. It's amazing. It's one of those really inspiring patterns, and it's definitely back on my list again. But at the moment, I just work on the queen. I try and get my queen finished. Um, Thank you all so much for sticking around and helping me get to the end of the 3 rows today. I am really, really going to try and get more done on the weekend. Tomorrow, I'm hopefully cricketing, and then weekend crocheting. So we'll see. Fingers are crossed, right? That the time of things all works out how we want it to work. For those of you that are in the path of nature's destruction, please keep safe. And do what you need to do to keep your family and your friends safe. And just, I'm thinking about you. And if you can check into the fun zone every now and again, just to let me know that you're doing okay, I would really appreciate that. And I'll catch us all next week at the usual time, it seems. And yeah, I'm not going to stream early. I'm just going to go normal time. So just keep an eye out, because it will be a different time for some of you as your daylight savings kicks in. So have an awesome week, and I will see you all next time. Bye now.